Live now from Fox. Take a look at these images. This was right before that deadly stampede at the Texas Music Festival Astroworld, which is headlined by Travis Scott. Right now we have a lot of questions, more questions than answers when it comes to this horrific event. So I do want to check in with Fox 26 Houston's Chelsea Edwards. She's joining us from the scene. Chelsea, I can see that it looks pretty active behind you. What's going on? What's the latest?
So right now we are at the meeting point for families still looking for loved ones. This is just a couple blocks away from the NRG Center where the concert was taking place. This was about 50,000 people attending this two-day festival. So last night was the first night, and we're told that around 9:15 there appeared to be an event where people started compressing toward the front of the stage. People started going unconscious. There were 11 people who went into cardiac arrest by the latest count, and 8 people who were killed. We're also told that 17 were sent to the hospital during that event. Now, throughout the day, there were about 300 people who were treated on site, but that was during the day's events, during the entire festival. But 17 people were sent to the hospital after that compression started. Police are still trying to figure out what led up to it. They have acknowledged reports of drug use. Even this morning out here, I spoke with one young man who was attending the concert, and he said that he saw people taking drugs right in front of him. So right now it's only speculation. Police are still trying to figure out what caused all of this, especially the tragedy of losing 8 people. People look forward to this concert locally and throughout the country. They come out here. This is the 3rd year to see dozens of big name artists. So it's really a huge draw for Houston, something that no one expected to end in tragedy.
Chelsea, I know you mentioned that officials in the Houston area are saying to ignore the rumors. This investigation is still in its early stages. So when you say that you are on Kirby and 610 at the Wyndham Hotel for missing persons or people to locate people who they haven't heard from since this tragic incident, what's the latest on that situation? Have you heard of anyone who is saying, help, I can't find my friend or my daughter who went to this concert?
Yeah, so what we've been seeing this morning is family members coming here, being sent to local hospitals. We're told that these authorities here are working with several hospitals in our area through downtown and the medical center, working with those trauma centers during this event. So at this point, officers told us that the 17 people who were injured, they have been connected with family members, but there are still people who don't know where their loved ones may be. We're told that the 8 people who were killed, there's one that they're trying to identify at this point. Some of the people who are coming up here this morning, they may just be waking up, maybe parents waking up, not knowing where their kids are. And, those, hopefully it's a happy ending to that story. Maybe their kid has just spent the night at their friend's house or is hanging out somewhere. But the idea is that if they are still looking for someone, they can't reach them. You can imagine during all the chaos, this was 50,000 people at this concert. So you can imagine during all of that, some phones were lost, some batteries died.
Right.
So, if people aren't able to reach their loved ones or their kids, they're hoping that they come up here or they call 311 for information and get connected and really sort this out, as police are really trying to sort out the situation.
And Chelsea, I know you're very busy, so before I let you go, just one last question. We've been paying attention to social media reaction and certain videos that we're seeing online, and there's one particular video that stood out to me. As soon as the chaos began, we could hear people in the crowd shouting, "Stop the concert, stop the concert." Now, I know it's still very early in the investigation, but have you heard any talk about who could possibly be responsible for all of this?
Right now police are being careful not to point fingers. Live Nation, that's the company that was helping to put this on, they actually thanked the Live Nation for their response. They could tell that once their security that they hired and the police officers that they had on hand, once they could see that things were out of control, they did reach out to Houston police for help. And we had the fire officials here. Everybody seemed like they were all hands on deck to try to get this situation under control. So right now they are not pointing any fingers. They're not accusing anyone of anything going on. The only thing they're saying right now is that they are acknowledging that there are reports of drug use and maybe some people being injected with the substance, but that is all early speculation, just rumors at this point.
All right, Chelsea, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And speaking of that official announcement that we have seen from Live Nation, I do want to bring a tweet from Astroworld following this incident. Astroworld Festival tweeting out, "Our hearts are with the Astroworld Festival family tonight, especially those we lost and their loved ones. We are focused on supporting local officials however we can. With that in mind, the festival will no longer be held today on Saturday." Authorities also mentioning that they are looking into a series of cardiac arrests that took place, and if you have any relevant information on this, you are urged to contact Houston Police Department. Also, if you know anyone who was attending this concert and you haven't heard from them since this tragic news, Houston police have set up a command post for missing persons. This is held at the 8686 block of Kirby at the 610 loop at the Wyndham Hotel. Again, if you need information on a loved one that has not been located, please proceed to that address. You can also call 311. We just received that update from our colleagues over at Fox 26 Houston. All right, let's go ahead and take a 2-minute commercial break, guys. We'll be right back.